good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Good Servants Show, where we all try to be good servants for the Lord Jesus Christ. Our hope, our love, center of our worship. The more and more I think about Jesus, like especially when I think about him in the flesh, and I think about how I feel about people that are near me, I would just love him so much, I would just love him so much, I don't know how to even put it. Slow driver, yes, I will go ahead and look for that, and I will have something to you today, for sure. And I didn't see it in there. Let me check it out now. Let me look, see what I got going on now. I hope I'm not mumbling. Okay, I do see your email. It's right on top. Did you guys hear me the whole time I was gone? Or I was here the whole time? Well, either way, it's your email's on top, so I will send you links as soon as this broadcast is over. And so yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at the how the poll came out. I put a poll out there for people to vote on. Because here's the thing, right? Like sometimes it takes, a long time to put together certain shows because like, you want to put it together a certain day and something goes wrong. And, you got to bump it to another day or, something always happens, right? And so what happens is, I'll put together like a nice show, right? That's got everybody, there's a lot of learning and people are saying good stuff. And I'll get 4 clicks on it, like it'll be, nobody will watch it. In fact, they click right off of it. And then, I'm just sitting here, mumbling and chilling with you guys and I'll get 80 clicks, and that's crazy. I mean, it'd be more like 40 something to 80 something or 60 something. I don't know. And it's not about that I care even about clicks, man. I don't even care about that, really. It's just the only way that I could measure, And so I don't know what's good and what's not good or what people are not liking. So I put a poll up there to see to try to, I don't know, see what works. But either way, I'm going to pray about it. I don't care about, God doesn't care about clicks either. He doesn't, because the right person is going to click. I just wonder, like, okay, well, is there something that is just not entertaining for you guys? Like, I don't want to sit here and bore you guys, man. Like, if you don't like something, then we could work that out. But there's always going to be a time where we gotta, like, take advantage of the fact that there's guests that can teach us more than I could teach you for sure. You hate it. Well, okay, look, that I get it. You don't like the music, right? But I mean, either I could do nothing, right? Have nothing playing for 1 minute until we start, or I could play that song, or I could play one of the other songs that are horrible too, right, as well. Or I could start talking right away and lose half of you. So I don't know, whatever you guys want. Yeah, I look forward to Jake and Stephanie coming on. I mean, it really, because it helps me out, like I could do a 20 of those shows a week and probably not be tired. Yeah, I don't like the music either, but I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, what, you know, you say that we can add our own music, but on the thing it's saying that we can't. Hey, Ann, how you doing? And yeah, and so I don't know. Hey, Michael, how you doing, buddy? Um, I don't know how to add that, right? You sent the instructions, but it's not doing it. And so I don't know. And that's even if we have our own music, because definitely don't want copyright hits. So I can't add music that's not our own stuff or stock, whatever. Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with that. Is oh, you wait. Yeah, come on. I mean, come on now. Yeah, whatever. I mean, but we all messed with all that stuff. She's saying that it's just noise. It's horrific, and I get that. you know. I get it. I mean, look, I don't like none of that stuff, right? No, no, no. I know, and I tried to add it, right? I know, I tried to add it, but like that's what I'm trying to tell you is that um okay, like I tried to give you a screenshot of it. What it looks like to me, right, is there's like 10 different musics I could pick, right? That are belongs to them. I can use it. Then there's like a little question mark, right? And it says new right next to it, right? And so if I click it, it's supposed to tell you how to add your own one, but there is no own one. You can only pick from what they give you. You can't put what you want on there. And even if I could, it would have to be that uncopyrighted music. It would have to be that. And so yeah, it's definitely crazy. And I don't know how to get everything lined up, like as far as like, so if I don't play a song, then it's going to be quiet for a whole minute. We'll be live for a whole minute without me saying anything, because that's how long it takes for everybody to catch up the same speed, and for my icon to start bumping right there. It takes about three greetings, right? And so it is what it is, right? I've seen other people put it on for like have 3 minutes of just nothing, dead air. And so I don't know. Other people they can just jump right on and they don't have a problem. So I don't know how it works. Hey Alex, how you doing? I messaged Mark, but I don't know what's going on with Mark. I haven't heard from him in a while, and I am kind of like I haven't heard from him in a while, and I asked him how things were because I wanted to do one of those shows, with all the prophecy stuff. But if he's going through something, I don't know. Oh, you're confused. What happened? What happened, slow driver? Yeah. Oh, we didn't. Oh, we don't have mind control, electronic crap. We did live music. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. See, I don't know what the music is or anything like. Okay. Okay, slow driver. I know, man. There's a lot going on here. Number one, I don't know anything about any kind of mind control music, right? But I don't doubt that the world is full of mind control music, right? Especially anything they would give us to play. I don't know, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, I know, I know. It's pretty crazy, right? And so, yeah, I would just ignore that stuff. Yeah, don't worry about that. There's a lot of people dealing with a lot of stuff nowadays, right? And I think like learning about like, so for me, right, learning about, um, yeah, it does seem harmless. I don't know. Some people know more than me. I don't know, right? But like, oh, you taking off? Why are you taking off, man? Why are you going? Oh, I missed what you were saying. Oh, okay, okay. Going into town to eat dinner. Okay, okay. Well, God bless you. Have a good dinner. Yes, please do. Call me later if you want. Yes, absolutely. I get it. Yeah, yeah. If you're hungry, yeah. Go ahead. Um, but I would say like, oh yeah, and if there's ever any kind of scuffle on here, just dust off your spirit and show up the next day, and we should be fine. And I mean, we got to rise above that stuff. But it is hard to forgive that much, right? 70 times seven. It's hard, right? But we got to do it. It's important. And so, back to what I was saying is like once you find out this world is all full of lies, right? Starting with like, we don't come from a monkey, we don't live on a ball, that kind of stuff, right? Then you start finding out that none of the news, right? Like all these things on the news that they put out there to tug on our heartstrings and all that, right? Um, most of that is not real, you know, and most most news about war is either not true at all or skewed. And so like even the information we get is not right. And mixed into the entertainment is they influence how we behave, and there is mind control. It worked into that. And so there is just so much, right? That's just a lot right there. And on top of that, you know, um, our history is a lie, probably. I mean, not probably. Our history is a lie. And so, like, things like, okay, so things that really messed me up were, like Kennedy was never assassinated, something like that. That messed me up. Like, because I'm like, wow, no way. Like, I saw the video of it. And then you start thinking, oh man, like if that was real, why would they need to show you a video of that? You know, graphicness. And number two, when they knocked the wig off the dummy, she went out to grab it. You don't climb out of a car when people are shooting at you. You duck down more. And so these kinds of things, right? But then they'll create like they'll create like all these different other conspiracies, like who really did it, or that kind of thing, right? To get you arguing over that instead of did it even happen at all? And what are you saying, Deb? Does anybody here listen to good sermon? I don't know. No, people just they talk, man, whatever. I don't care. Some people just chill, listen to my voice and just chill or whatever. I'm cool with that. Because I know there's some channels, right, where I see where people are talking. They got like 40 people in the chat, 40 people, but and nobody's chatting in the box. Like nobody. They just have people listening and nobody typing in the box. And that's a weird kind of thing. I don't know. I think what it is the guy's kind of like when you type something in there, he's kind of mean, you know. He'll kind of put you out on Front Street, like you say hello, and he's like, "What do you mean by hello?" You know what I mean? Like, so it kind of puts you out there. So I get it. No one would want to chat, but like, it is entertaining, whatever it is that's going on over there. And oh yeah, oh yeah. I see. I used to go to KJ's channel too a lot. I don't really go to it anymore that much. It like you sort of graduate, right? Like KJ's channel is still great, and I still would watch it, but like there's another level of like truth, and then there's another level of truth after that, right? Where people are just way into like what is real and what is not real. And in order to have a big channel, you have to kind of be on the out, like, I don't know, you kind of have to be a little mainstreamish, to have a big channel. Yeah, and see that was a good movie. I mean, he came out with that like around when the 9/11 stuff was happening, but I haven't seen that in a long time. Hey Sasquatch, how you doing, buddy? And yeah, I mean, I like that channel, but I don't know, big channels now. I don't know, man. It's like what do you call it? Richie from Boston or something like that, or Call for an Uprising. I mean, they're decent show channels, but they're too big. Like nobody, you're never gonna get a platform that big unless you're playing ball somehow. I mean, that's a big platform of people. Um, oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Sometimes that's all the energy you have. Oh yeah, from the yeah, yeah, yeah. Or I know. But like some stuff is like it's hard to say that completely though, Deb. It's because some like yes, you're right, but like some stuff is like could wake somebody up. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean that it's not effective for like somebody out there. Because there's channels that I won't watch it. It's too much too much like cursing and all this stuff and hand signs and all this other stuff. I'm not into that, right? But if it wakes somebody up, then it's good for them. It's just not for me. And so I still see the value in it, right? Like the value that it has. But yeah, it is what it is. Man, I'm really happy that nobody fought. Like, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so happy. I feel so happy about that. That is big, man. Like, that never would have happened a long time ago. And that's a huge amount of restraint from people. Oh, what do you mean was during the movie? Sometimes you only listen without chatting. Okay. I see what you're saying. So you just would listen to the show without typing. Yeah, I know you were doing that like recently, and that's pretty cool. I don't know how that would go, right? Because like it's hard when someone's just talking to the chat, interactive with the chat, then it's hard. But when there's guests on, right? When there's guests on, it's a lot easier because you're just kind of listening to them. I don't know. And sometimes like you can listen to the stream slow. Like you can listen to it a little slower. I don't know. That works better with recordings. Like if there's somebody that talks fast, you can just put it on slow and you can get a lot more out of it. I don't listen to my own stuff that much, but very rarely. Only if somebody points out, like, hey, listen to this spot or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that everybody is just like, because here we are, man. We're at the end. This is the end times, right? Like, this is it. And whether you look to the left or right, and whether you like the person that's here or not, right? Like this is who's here. You know what I mean? Like God wanted all of us to be here. Um, the problem with having a group of special people is sometimes people think they're the only special person. You know what I mean? Like, but you guys are all special. Like, you guys are all, you guys have all been blessed and protected by God, even through things that make no sense, right? Same as me, right? Bumping into things my whole life. And then we end up here, right? And so, yeah, there's nobody better than anybody. We're all sinners. It just is what it is, right? And we all love Jesus, right? Love. And if we can look past, like, personalities to love each other, right? Because it's really our spirits that we know, right? That's what matters, right? And if you love somebody, you don't have to be told, hey, don't sleep with that guy's wife. It's like, what are you talking about? I love that guy, man. Like, you're I don't need laws for that. Or, hey, don't kill your neighbor. It's like, no, man, I think he's great. But yeah, and I just know that yes, Mark is Sasquatch, yes. Yeah, sometimes I get a little, yeah, it's okay, Soul Drivers, Angelina, because sometimes, like, I'll call people by their names anyway, and it gets kind of jumbled up where people, yeah, 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 no, no, I know, absolutely, yeah, and I'll call people by their names, right? You're laughing at me. Why? What did I do? What did I do, Mike? Oh, about the laws with the love and all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And no, but I've seen a lot of people grow a lot, like, over the course of, like, how long we've all been together, right? And we kind of are all growing together. Like, I'm like, most of the chat knows more than me about all this stuff. So at no point was I ever like, I've never felt like an authority on any of this stuff. It's just like, everyone meets here and then we talk, right? And I learned so much stuff, man. And I tried to put together stuff that people would want to listen to. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it needs to be kind of mixed up. You mix it all up. But yeah, there's only stuff from the Bible will cut to the heart. As long as I don't misgender anybody. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Sometimes I don't know. There's like a questionable name where I won't know, if somebody's a male or a female or whatever. And, you have to ask, right? Like, you don't want to disrespect somebody. They don't have to tell you either. Gender neutrality. I'm just the sound of that. Gender neutrality sounds like something physically happened to you. Like, that's not a good thing. I mean, I don't know, man. I am ready. I'm ready to get out of here. I don't want to know about any of that stuff. I don't want to learn about it. I mean, I'm sure I know there's two sides of everything, and there's people hurting on that side. And so being delicate and patient is still important, but it's getting ridiculous. Like everything is getting ridiculous to where it's hard to hold that. It's hard to have patience. Yeah, because when you're a little kid, right, that's one of the things that you know for sure is I knew I was a boy, right? I'm a boy. Okay, that's a girl over there, and that's I go to this bathroom. I mean, it was very little did I know when I was 5 years old or 6 years old, right? It, that was just one of the things that I knew for sure. And if you take that away, I mean, think about how unstable. Yeah, I get it. Adam and Steve, laugh it up. I get it. And so, yeah, I mean, it just really makes you unstable because not only did you find out your parents lied to you about Santa Claus, you're starting to question God. They're starting to teach you come from a monkey and that you live on a spinning ball. It's just crazy, right? Like they start lying to you right away. So you think you're in this big infinity, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have this rocket ship. We flew around the world, and there's no God up there. We already went up there and checked. Don't worry." I mean, it's evil on its best day, right? And you're right. God will give them over to reprobate mind. In fact, not only that, but God was having me focus on Romans, uh, reading about the reprobate mind. I mean, it really is a bad state of mind. If you don't feel bad about things, and you have to do some kind of evil, some kind of backwards thing in order to feel good, that is that's bad news. Why are you taking off, Michael? What's going on, buddy? Are you okay, or are you just tired? Yeah, why are you leaving? That's important. If you want to join the show and talk about it, that's fine. We got 15 minutes, man. We can talk about it. Yeah, most don't even know they're even doing wrong spiritually. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a conscience anymore, if you're like a psychopath, yeah, then like that's not a good state of mind. They don't even think that they're doing anything wrong. It probably feels good. It's probably like a counterfeit kind of freedom, because you know how the truth will set you free, and if you follow the truth all the way out to Jesus, right, then you will be free, you know. But then there's also like this counterfeit freedom where if you turn down the truth enough, that you just won't feel bad about anything. You'll just believe the lie that somehow there's no consequences, or somehow there's no um, there's no rules, or there's no template for how we're supposed to live. I mean, that's why God gives us rules, right? Is because it's better for us. It's beneficial for us to live that way. He doesn't just put out rules like, okay, try to avoid this and try to avoid that, and it's meant to make you struggle. I mean, everything has a reason why, It's not good for us to break the rules. And we're all the same, there's no different groups of sinners, right? We've all done that. We've all broken the rules. And so we need to look at ourselves as just one big group of people that have um, have broken the rules and need Jesus, because that's the only way to make it. That's the only way to make it. Oh yeah, Joel, yeah. I mean, I texted him the other day, and he asked me not to text him anymore. And so that kind of hurt, man. Because here's the thing, it's almost like it's almost like the nicer you are, the more people hate you. And the worst, I don't know, because sometimes you treat someone like crap and they're nice to you. Then the other people, you treat them nice and they treat you like crap. They don't like you. I don't know why that happens. Oh yeah, you're right, Angelina. God gives us rules to protect us. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's fun to go down the slide backwards, right? At the park. But we're supposed to go down frontwards, or else we'll break our necks. Yeah, we might make it a couple of times going backwards and we'll get away with it, but it's not ideal for us. And so God loves us. He doesn't want there to be any chance for us to not make it or suffer. And so it makes sense, right? It's not like, because there's a lot of things that I want to do that are against the rules, you know. Not a lot of things, I wouldn't say that, but like I'm always like tempted to do something like a little gluttonous, or maybe I don't know. It's been a long time for lust for me, but that's been one of my things. And it's like, of course, some of that stuff is fun, but at what cost, right? At what cost? And then like I realized that like the more I try to fit into that template, not saying that we're justified by the law, because we're not. We're definitely not. And I don't even keep track of what laws are even, I mean, that's not totally true. I mean, if I read it where there's a template in the Bible, then yeah, I notice it and I want to be you know, within the parameters of it. But like, I don't think of the law as like, okay, well, I have to do that in order to make it. And so, but I know that doing that, right? But following the rules, right, has made it easier for me to even interact with other people, whether they know about it or not, whether they know I'm doing this stuff or not. I guess there's something in our behavior, right, that people can tell if you're real or not. If you're like they can tell if you're lying, or they can tell if you're fake. And so like, I don't know. It just seems like the more disciplined I live my life, the more honest I live my life, the more people respond to me in a better way. Yeah, I mean that's one thing for me too, a slow driver, because sometimes when you find something you like, you just want to you want to do it a lot. And I don't know, like it's a good thing there are rules. I mean, because none of us are perfect. Only with Jesus inside us, His Spirit, right, can we do all things. You can ask me a question, Deb, if you want. God should be the only consideration. Not now, but think about this though. Think about this though, Deb. Yes, you're right about that. God is number one, right? God is number one. But the other half of that, right, is love your neighbor as you would love yourself, right? So it's like, yes, that's true, but why is that true? It's true to love God the most so that you could love other people. It's not just so you could be with Deb, right? It's a lot of nuance to it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it, Deb. I get it. Oh yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. God number one, neighbor number two. Yeah, it's just too easy, right? If you break it down like that. You weren't wrong about what are you talking about? There's no, yeah. I learn stuff every day. Trust me. I get told stuff and I'm like, what? My mind is blown. Like my head is in that Bible all day long, and people and people tell me stuff that I'm like, what? Like is that in there? Like what are you guys talking about? And so like here's okay, here's another thing, right? I read a lot of these non-canonical books, right? Like extra canonical books. And a lot of them, I do. I've read a lot of them, but I don't know which ones are in the Apocrypha or not. You know, I've just only read them all separately online, right? Listening to it while I'm reading and that kind of thing, or just even listening to it at night. Well, well, it's hard to tell somebody like, oh yeah, I've read the Apocrypha, right? And then they're going, and then you start naming books that aren't in there, right? I'm like, okay, wait, it's not Enoch, Maccabees maybe, or Ecclesiasticus, right? And so, like, I feel stupid, right? But when you read them like that, I don't know which ones are in and which ones are not in there. And I messed up. I messed up with the Bible. I think I had the wrong, not Ezra, but Esdras. I didn't know which one. I know one is in the Bible and one isn't, and so it's hard to. I don't know. I don't care what people think. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Bubba, how you doing? Oh, I liked your stream, man. Hey, hey, tell them it's hard to do a stream, man. Like even 15 minutes, right? Seems like forever. And then to be on here an hour, an hour two times a day, right? That's crazy. But I love going long. I love being on here going long and all that stuff. I especially love when there's like panels, right? I want to do like add people. And I don't know if you've heard from Mark, but I wanted to do that show and we've had almost everybody here to do that. And I haven't heard from Mark. I don't know what's going on. I hope that he's okay. Because I haven't seen him in a few days. You know, so I don't know if you guys have seen him. You found Second Esdras, what it is, verse 23. Then the trumpet will sound, and sudden terror will grip the heart. Right, right. And yeah, I mean, I love those books. Those who never died but were taken up to heaven alive. Yeah. Well, Enoch, Enoch and not Ezra, but Elijah. But some people say Jesus, but Jesus wasn't raptured. He went up to heaven on his own authority. He didn't need to be taken up. He just went up. Yes, 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 Deb. If you've seen him, um, I just I haven't seen him in a little bit, and it's kind of weird to not see him for 3 days. Yeah, it is interesting, right? Definitely, Bubba. And see, I think that a lot of those, see, to me, right? I think a lot of those books are true. It's just hard to give it moral authority on my life, right? Because I think God knew what books would be in the canon, right? Like, I, I mean, obviously God knows everything. And if he wanted it in another way, he could just do it. It's not like people are going to get away with changing something. And I think God knew what we would have, right? And I feel comfortable with that. Now, of course, there are some things that I will like, like when things are getting real tight and I'm starting to get scared about learning. When I'm starting to get scared about being lied to or being deceived, then I'll cut it down to just the Bible, right? Because I know I'll be held accountable for what's in that book, and I don't want to add another source to that. And I think God, he knows our hearts, right? Like, so I I don't think that he'll know the sincerity of our heart, whatever we choose to do with that. I mean, do I believe that some of these books read like scripture and they probably should be in there? I don't know if that's for me to say. A lot of them do sound like scripture. A lot of them, I think, are true books if the Bible's quoting from it. I don't think the Bible would quote from a book that's partly true. Then that would really bring a lot of things into question. But see, I don't think anything's wrong with the Bible. I don't think there's any like. I think everything in there is the way it's supposed to be. Now, if you have some other source that tells me that the name of Jesus is different, well, I want to know why you think that other source is more, more, has more weight than the Bible. And if you're going back to an older manuscript, right? Well, then, is that like saying that like God had no control over what I would have right now? Because I always view God as having the biggest. He's the biggest variable. Like he has all of the control. Because think about this, right? When Jesus, when they captured Jesus, right? There was still so much prophecy that needed to be fulfilled, and it happened, right? Like he was in control the whole time, and a lot of that prophecy happened after he was captured, being pierced in his side, and the bad wine and all that, and um, that his bones weren't broken. Like Jesus is the word, right? Like it's his words. He nothing is created without him. And so when you really think about that deeply, right? It's like he wasn't murdered. I mean, this was a sacrifice. He gave himself up. He could have he could have jumped off that cross anytime he wanted. And that's what makes it um so amazing, right? That's how much he loved us. Start talking about um Jesus and what he did on the cross, and there's only 4 people in here now. I don't know. What did you do, Deb? No, I don't. You didn't do anything, Deb. I don't think. I don't think so, Deb. Yeah, am I not perfect? No. I don't know. It's just weird that like, isn't it weird how like we start talking about the most amount of truth, which is what Jesus did for us, and then like the people like it shrinks down like to like nobody. But then when we're in here talking about drama or some kind of fight, uh then people are in here interested, like, ooh, what's going on? Ooh, what did he call her? It's like this Jerry Springer kind of thing, you know or when you're getting trolled by like 30 people or something like that, like, oh wow, look at the numbers are up. But it's all fake. It's this fake world, right? And we're gonna learn, right, that not only is the world, right, like out of the world, there's just not that many people that want salvation. They don't believe it. But even within our groups like this, right, where we think everyone is saved, right, we think everybody is there, right? I think there's a lot of people that don't want it, that they don't believe it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can chalk it up to coincidence. I hope so, but it's been my experience that like if the more truth you put out, like if it's all truth, the less audience you get for it. Which, hey, look, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is, you know. Some of my best shows that I have are I get the fewest clicks, but I'll never stop doing them, you know, because you know, I like certain combinations of people that talk and teach on here. And so you know, it is what it is. And maybe the truth is just for not that many people, you know. I get it. I mean, it's weird how I ended up on this side of it. I'm like, well, why am I gonna make it? It's weird, you know. But you know, I'm not God. God makes those decisions, I guess. You know. It says what's heartbreaking to me is because I think most people think salvation is too good to be true. Yeah, it does. It does sound too good to be true. I think that's the hardest thing to believe is how easy it is, right? Like it's hard to think that he did that for us. It is too good to be true, right? Exactly, Alex. Yeah, and the easy believer, right, is is like the hardest thing to believe is that it's easy, right? But they flip it on us. Like if somebody buys you a ticket to the movie, right? Well, then you're going to the movie. Like no matter what you do, you still have a ticket, and people don't get that. You know, I mean, do I think there's probably some judgment of our works after we get there? Sure, I think that there's because in the back half of Corinthians it talks about like having our works burned, right? And some of us will just have stubble, and some of us will have jewels, right? Precious stones. Yeah, people question it, right? They want to be able to say, "Well, I did this better than you," or or I'm doing it right and you're not doing it right, or something like that. But what's weird is when you run into somebody like that, right? That says, "Well, you're not really doing it right." They can't tell you how to change it. Like, okay, well then how did you do it? What am I doing wrong? Like what do you do on a daily basis that's different than what I do? And maybe you can help me. I mean, who knows, right? Like, I'm not closed off to that. Like, I don't believe it, but I mean, I'll still listen. If there's something that makes sense, then I'll learn, you know. And I think the more dug in you are on topics, like the it's really the worse off, because you should be able to listen to everything and test everything. I mean, your bot, it's true inside, right? But to like cling to something because like a good pastor that you liked growing up taught you, or or your dad taught you, or your grandpa taught you. But there's a lot of things they didn't know about the world, that we're finding out now with scrutiny. Hey Faith, how you doing? Yeah, don't worry about being late. All these shows are the same. I'm surprised, like there's a few of you that come to all of them, right? And trust me, I love that, right? Those are my people. But but they're all the same. I mean, you know, I get it. I haven't taken I've been to all the shows for a year, you know, and it's hard to believe now. I think time is slowing down. Do you think time is slowing back down again? Because it was like so fast. Time was going by so fast for a while, where it seemed like I was going show to show to show like that, like just that fast, right? But now time is slowing down, I think. I mean, time is slowing down. It's like back to normal, right? Back to like how it was when we were kids. Because I remember when I used to count seconds when I was a kid, it was like 1,000, 1,000. Remember that? Or one Mississippi, two Mississippi, like that slow. And now it's you got to do it fast to get like one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, like just to get all that in. And I remember being very like a lot slower when I was a kid, but now it's like it is starting to slow back down, I think. Because I checked the clock today, like after my first call this morning, and I'm like, oh wow, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what? I'm like, usually like the first time I check the clock, it's 10, after the show, I mean, of course. But yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's time to hit that old dusty trail. And so I'll just say, I love you guys. Thank you for coming. And I will email you, Slow Driver, right after this. Some of those videos and stuff. And I'll email you my phone number just in case. And so, yes, I'll be taking a nap. Trust me on that. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. And all glory to God. He deserves it. Please pray for the children. Please pray for anyone being victimized. Please pray for each other. It's important. And man, I get pumped up when you guys are like this. And so, Lord willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 a.m. Love you guys. God bless you.